Good enough. All right, we're gonna on your mat, facing forward. Inhale, bring your arms up. Interlace at the top. Flip your palms to the ceiling. Exhale, little back bend. Inhale, return to center. Exhale, arms come down. You're gonna have your feet just a little bit wider than your hip width apart. You're gonna inhale, one arm up and over, slight side bend. Inhale, return. Exhale. Inhale, up and over, opposite direction. It's really important that our spine can flex and extend in multiple planes of motion. So these side bends and the front and lateral bends are really great for us. Come back to center, inhale. And then we're going to exhale, forward fold. Let your head hang heavy here. Really pulling and letting gravity pull you down. Rounded spine. You can grab for opposite elbows and take your hands off of the floor for a greater gravitational pull. You should feel this in the back of your legs, through your hamstrings, stretching everything out. Bring your hands back to the center of the mat. You're going to leave one in the center and you're going to open, twisting up, having the opposite hand reaching toward the ceiling. A nice twist in the thoracic or the middle part of your spine. Inhale, return to center. Replacing the hand that was just up to the middle of the mat and then twisting open in the opposite direction. Feel free to have as much bend in your knees as you need to. They don't need to be completely straight or locked out. We're just warming up here. And replace the center. Walk your feet together, narrow stance. You're going to inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. And then on your inhale, roll up one vertebrae at a time. Your head is the last thing to lift. All right, I'm going to step to the back of my mat. I'm going to go ahead and inhale, forward fold back down. And then you're going to walk out to downward dog. Starting here today, still warming up, you're going to walk your dog. So one heel is going to lift off the mat as you replace the other heel. Pushing through your shoulders, hips extending to the ceiling, creating as much of a V shape as you can. Go ahead and find stillness on both of your toes. We're going to bend at the knees, bringing them down to the mat, touching the mat, and then pressing back up into the hips. Do that 3 more times. Two more. And last one. Find stillness in your downward dog. Try to make your heels meet the mat. If you need to bend your knees here to do so, that is okay. You're using your body weight evenly throughout your hands, throughout your feet, really pressing back into those shoulders, pressing up into those hips, creating that V. Inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, your right leg is going to lift. Weight shifts on your left leg. Hips stay neutral facing the ground. We're not opening them yet. From here, you're going to bend in knee. Right knee is going to come to right elbow into a plank position, and then pressing back into three-legged dog. This time you're going to bring that elbow or the knee in past your elbow, putting your foot on the outside of your right arm. Take your time in getting there. Your left knee can come down to the mat. You're going to lean forward into that hip flexor. You're going to rotate your foot so your knee opens up. If you can bring your elbows to the mat, you're welcome to do so. Go ahead and walk back up. Rotate that foot back to the first position. Pick that back leg off of the ground and press back up into downward dog. Right leg lifts again into three-legged dog. This time opening your hip towards the wall. All right, hips come neutral facing the floor again. This time you're going to pull your right leg through into pigeon pose. Setting up. Like to have a tall chest here. Really inhale and expand, and then lean forward on your exhale. Walking your hands out, stretching through. Don't forget to breathe through this. Your muscles love breath. So whether you're rolling the myofascial tissues out with our massage techniques, stretching, working out, keep that breath engaged and at top of mind. On your inhale, you're gonna walk it up. Press yourself back up. We'll meet in downward dog again. We'll do it all on the opposite side. I'm gonna switch positions here. All right, on your inhale, your weight is going to shift into the right leg. Your left leg is going to lift into three-legged dog, hips staying neutral, facing the floor. On your inhale, left knee is going to come to left elbow in your plank and pressing back into three-legged dog. Inhale, left foot is going to come outside of left hand. You can then bring your back leg to the mat and lean forward in your hip flexor. Go ahead and rotate that left foot out, knee open. If you can, go down to your elbows. If not, that's a-okay. Inhale, come back up, return your knee and your foot to the original position, pressing up off of that back knee and back into three-legged dog. This time, opening your hip towards the railing into the wall, scorpion that dog. Always meet yourself where you're at today. Challenge yourself, but don't push yourself beyond your limits. It's all about improving one day at a time. Return your hips to neutral and bring your left leg through into pigeon pose. Starting with a nice tall chest, inhale, and then forward fold, laying down. Inhale, walk back up, lift that back leg, and return to downward dog. From here, you can go ahead and find a seat on your mat. Of course. We're gonna set up for a split leg reach. So go ahead and have your legs open. You're going to inhale, reaching over, side bend, reaching for your toes. Inhale, rotating your chest so that your chest faces your thigh, head comes to knee or to shin, or just in this general direction. Again, reaching through that toes, keeping both hips on the floor, not letting your opposite hip lift off of that mat. Inhale, lift center. On your inhale, you're going to fold over, bend over to the opposite side. And inhale, rotate your chest so that your chest faces your leg and pulling through to where you can reach. That could be the shin, that can stay at the knee, just keeping your opposite hip glued to the floor and leaning in. Inhale, come on up. Inhale, you're going to have a nice raise, flat back. On your exhale, lean forward. You're going to feel this in your inner thighs and your adductors. The trick here about getting even lower to the ground is that every inhale, breathe in, and every exhale, you walk your hands just a little bit further from you. You'd be surprised how low you can get by using this technique. Nice flat back, not rounding in our spine at this point. Let's do one more inhale and one more exhale. This should be the lowest that you can go today. And then come on back up. We're going to bring it in for butterfly stretch. So working those adductors again, this is going to start with your feet as close to your pelvis as you can tolerate. We're going to be pulling up through our chest, again, keeping a flat back here. And our exhale, we're just going to lean forward. You might not get a lot of range of motion here, and that is fine. But just like we just did, at every exhale, you're going to pull yourself just slightly more forward. One more. Inhale, release. Inch your feet out just a little bit further from you. On this time, we're going to round our spine down. Our head is going to try to find our feet. So inhale up and exhale, rounding over. And inhale, come back up. You're going to start with your legs out in front of you. You're going to bend one leg at the side. And then from here, you're going to walk yourself back. You should feel a stretch on the top part of your quadricep. And you can walk yourself all the way back to laying down if you can. Otherwise, you can stay at where on the elbows you're feeling the most stretch. On your inhale, go ahead and walk it back up. You're going to switch sides. On your inhale, walk it back up. We're going to stay on our butt just for a second. And you're in a perfect position where you're at. So you're going to have your feet at a 90-degree angle and a 90-degree angle. So from here, you're going to press yourself up using your glutes. You can use your hands too. Perfect. Then you're going to lay or slowly come back down. From here, we're going to use our hip mobility to windshield wiper our knees, keeping our feet as close to keeping in contact with the mat as possible. And then you're going to find yourself rotating back to the original position on the opposite side. You're going to press back up, setting back down, and then you'll windshield wiper the other direction. Sit on up, sit back down, and then Yes. Back up. And back down. Awesome. So I think you're trying to twist in the opposite way that your feet are. So that's why you're getting stuck underneath you. So like if you were, instead of following me, so you can work on, like if you just, and then go that way. Yep. Yeah. And then keep going that way. Yeah. So yeah.
So I just need to switch how I'm. Okay.
So yeah, that's all that is. All right. For our last bit today, we're going to lay down on our stomachs. I'm going to start here. So my elbows are going to stack underneath my shoulders. My hands are going to be at the top of the mat. We're going to do baby cobra. So I'm going to inhale, pressing at my elbows, just lifting my chest off the ground, peeling it off. And then exhale. Now I'm going to move my hands back. My elbows are going to come off of the floor. So my hands are now underneath my shoulders. My elbows are now pointing up toward the ceiling. I'm going to press myself up into cobra. And back. Moving my hands into goal pose. So as if I was that football goal out beside me. I'm going to place my left cheek on the mat. My right knee is going to bend, and I'm going to kick my right leg up and across to the left side of my body. Perfect. And return to center. Flip to your right cheek on your mat. Now my left knee is going to bend, and my left leg is going to kick up and across to the right side of my body. And return to center. Lastly, I'm going to press up. My knees are going to come to the outside of the mat. I'm going to press my hips back into child's pose. This will be our last stretch of today. All right. Fingers crossed I'm in this frame.